What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So I got some local news now. Um, I've been following this story for a little bit now with a immigrant named Leslie Scarlett, who ended up killing 4 people, well, killing 3 people, and ended up actually killing himself. Well, he didn't kill himself. The police killed him when he was going into his little rant. But there was a reason for this, and it's because of his mental, you know what I'm saying? I want to say it was earlier this year, either earlier this year or early last year, where his mother, Ruth Monica Scarlett Webb, was killed in a house fire on East Irene Vista, the same street where firefighters and neighbors came under attack Sunday. A few months later, Richard Harwell Jr. died of complications from the same house fire that I guess that was who Leslie Scarlett was referring to as his dad, and his mom, obviously. He also was seriously burned from trying to pull his mom and Harwell out of the burning home, where he was hospitalized, it says, for weeks. Faulty wiring was later determined to be the case of the fatal fire, which is very possible considering some of the homes that are in that area. 2158 East Irene Vista, as you can see, it's not the greatest, looking home. It's definitely one of the older homes. So just to see this, man. And then they were saying in this same article, let me get to it, where he had been struggling lately, you know what I'm saying? Obviously losing his mom in that way and his stepfather in that way definitely had to have some sort of effect. He also, it says here that he resisted arrest and he was handcuffed after a brief struggle. Fels, who was his fiancée, were talking to the police and all this type of stuff. She was saying that he has PTSD from the incident, which is the incident of his mother and stepfather passing from the fire. Just craziness, man. Just craziness. So I guess he tried to take justice into his own hands. I don't know what happened. They don't really say how this happened, you know what I mean? Like what led up to the events that this happened. But obviously he was in a crisis center. The case moved to mental and behavioral health services. So obviously this dude was suffering. And obviously they weren't doing a good enough job with this man. He was working at a plumbing company, it says. It doesn't say what plumbing company. Saying that he was listed working for KFC. Like they don't give you a lot of information. So they're saying that none of this stuff that he was going downhill, that triggered nothing, no flags with TPD, which is an utter disgrace. When you have mental health patients, anything can trigger them, I'm sure. And you don't have to be a specialist or an expert to know that is the case. You know what I'm saying? Just proof of the negligence that these people do when it comes to melanated people. You know what I'm saying? They just don't have the same caring that they do for white folks. You know what I mean? And this is just proof right here. So he goes and starts shooting at people. One of them happened to be an EMT who's very young. Of course, he's a white guy. He killed 2 other white people, and like I said, the police ended up ultimately taking this man's life. There's also another article that I have that I'll put up later and do a video on it later. But it's a very similar thing. But this time, in that one, but I don't want to get into it, but it's very similar in some ways. But like this says, it's unusual in mass shootings cases in the U.S. for there not to be a noticeable decline in behavioral health of the shooter. So they're already lying right now to me. They're saying this because they know of the negligence that these companies did for this man. And of course, Magnus, who's I want to say the chief of police here in Tucson. Yeah. Tucson police chief. He speaks on it. And as you can see, that's what the dude looks like. A raging, suspected white supremacist in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? But it's just sad that these types of things happen. You know what I mean? The negligence of these so-called programs that are supposed to help people that have mental illnesses, like have issues with mental health. It's just proof that they're just there in name only. They don't really help out people. And this is what happens sometimes. And it's unfortunate. Definitely don't condone this type of behavior from anyone. But it's still proof that there's systems that are government systems that don't work. And this is just one instance of that. But I don't really have too much else on this one. Tell me what you guys think about it. This is your boy P Money, and I'm off this.